Alrighty, guys. Welcome to lesson, I think it is number 13. Now, this will be the last video in this series, and then you guys will be let loose to be able to start to create your own applications. Now, the thing that I thought would be worthwhile doing is making sure that you know how to get movement on your Excel spreadsheet, which will allow you to create games. It's also a good opportunity to show you the realities of code in terms of developing this. So this is something that I had to do before I prepared this video. And of course, I've never had to create a game in Excel, so I've never had to use this type of code. So what I wanted to be able to do is create movement. Be able to get something like, if we're creating something like Tetris, for example, we need to get a block of information to, let's say a colored block, move down each cell one at a time at different paces. So to be able to do that, what I had to do was go and look up some code, okay, and just experiment and play around a little bit. And you'll see that on the screen what you've got now is that I found two methods to do it. And I eventually played around enough that I was able to decide which method was better and then go from there. Now you'll notice that there's all this stuff up the top here. Now this came straight out of the search term that I did. So if I do it on the screen right now, if I can find, okay. So basically what I want to do is I want to be, how do I pause in VBA code? So I've obviously done the search before. So basically what I want to be able to do is basically get something to flash on the screen, say that it is, and I just did it with a letter, in one cell, followed by the next cell, followed by the next cell. Now the speed that happens will depend upon how quickly the code's running. But if you don't put any pauses into the code, what's going to happen is that it's going to happen super fast to the point where it's almost instantaneous for the user. Now that's not exactly what we want. So if we're trying to create a game like with a bit of movement in it, like Excel, like Tetris, for example, what we would need to be able to do is we need to pause the code. So I kind of had to go and look up how do I pause code in VBA? Okay, and if we go here, okay, so I've basically gone and I've taken and that was one of the methods, okay. And what you find if you read it is that it does not accept delays less than a second. So if you actually have a look at what I've done in my code, I thought I'll give that one a go, and I decided to divide by 2 and and looked up a couple of other ways to do it, none of which I was really happy with. Okay. And then the second method I use, which was here, which is the one I'm going to give you guys, is called sleep. And it asks you to put this declare statement in. Okay. Now you will sometimes get stuff from code that you just go, oh my God, I don't know. I have no idea what that means. And that's absolutely fine. You don't need to understand every last thing. You just need to be able to get your code to work. So in this case, for me, I don't fully understand precisely what this is actually doing. But that's okay. It doesn't really matter. Okay. But basically, if you have that statement at the top and then you put sleep in there and with different numbers, you can start to create your movement in your text. So this is an example of the kind of thing that you will need to do when you're developing your applications. So if we have a look now, and I'll take them out one by one so you can sort of follow my logic. So I'm going to take out that wait now application because I've tried it and it didn't work particularly well. So we'll get rid of that because we don't need it. Okay, and then we'll have a little bit of a look at what the code does. So what I wanted to do is, again, I'm doing a simple little test. I've put my statement, which I've pasted straight off the internet of that page there, okay, into there. And then I've got this command 40. Now, what I wanted to do, just to do my testing to start off with, and you'll see what I've done for my testing my setup, is I just wanted to be able to get created a loop with 20 columns. So I just moved down 20 times. And then I just put a letter A in it and just said, right. And so what we wanted to do, so if I don't have that sleep number in there and I push play, cancel. It just goes one after another and instantaneously does it. So that's not quite what I wanted. So I actually want instead for it to create a, oops, we actually want it to actually show the A and then disappear. So if I do that, so basically I'm putting in each row as it moves through, I'm putting in the letter A, and then each row subsequently I'm putting in removing the letter A. So I did that, and if I push play, it doesn't do anything. It's actually running the code, but because it's running so fast that you just can't see it. So then I've put in that command sleep, which was in the internet, and then I've just started playing around with the numbers to see what it looks like. Okay, so what I saw there is you see kind of a flush, flush, flush. So it isn't quite giving you the appearance that you want in that, if it flashes on and off the screen, which is what I'm telling it to do. And then if I just experiment a little bit, change the number. So let's make it 900. Okay, so you can see that the code's executing one after another, and that's fine. But if I get up to we'll get there once it gets there. If I get up to a higher speed, you'll see that you get that sort of flash on and off type effect. Okay, so if we do 40 like we have, okay. So if we do that, what I decided to do, because I just wasn't sure quite how to get this code to work, is I thought, well, it's going to flash on the screen. I'll put an extra A in there in the cell below and see if that did it. And that seemed to fix the problem. So you can see it much more clearly what's happening, okay, as an example. So I've just played around with the code to get it to do that. Now, obviously, if I go to 900, you probably, I might do 600, which is quite slow. Okay, so, and that's actually works quite okay. So we've got a solution so that you can see that it's moving down. Okay. And that's how I've solved the problem. So what we want to get you guys to do is have a play around with this, because obviously you can see the application straight away that if you were making Tetris and let's say you made a block that, let's quickly make one. Yeah. So if I made a block that looked like that, for example, and I wanted to get it to move down through the cells, I could use code like this. Okay, so your task today is two things. Okay, and this is where we want to get you used to experimenting with code. We want you to be able to create some sort of Tetris block. I don't care what color it is. I don't care what shape it is. But we want to allow you to get the motion of the block moving through 20 cells. And then what I want to get you guys to do is to try and work out, how do I get it so that it moves faster and faster, which is what happens in Tetris, through those 20 cells. So how do we get that cell to move quickly through? Now, there's a few problems here that you need to overcome, which is why I'm giving you this particular task, and you'll just need to play around with the code a little bit. Right, so that is your task today. Good luck, and once you can do that, you have all of the skills that you need if you've completed all of the modules successful to then be able to create an application. And that will be entirely up to you how you create that application, but you do need to be able to develop those skills of overcoming problems, because you can almost guarantee that there's going to be something that I haven't taught you, some sort of language or something like that, that you're going to have to work out how to get it to work on your code. All right. Good luck, and I look forward to seeing a beautiful Tetris game as it's going down the moving through just one block. Okay, good luck, and we'll catch you later.